If you're planning a trip to Korea and you're thinking about all of the food you're going to try while you're here, I would wager that at least one non-Korean food is on that list, and that would be fried chicken, because anybody who knows anything about Korea knows that Koreans have perfected fried chicken. It is the best. Hamburgers probably aren't on your list, but I'm here to tell you I think they should be. And in this video, I'm going to take you to my 4 favorite hamburger restaurants just to give you a little glimpse of what the Korean hamburger scene is like today. And I'm going to introduce these places to you from here, one of my favorite parks. I have shown some parts of this park in previous videos. I filmed a few of them here. I come here frequently to walk my dogs. I take walks through here regularly. It's a fairly big park. There's a hill here, small mountain, called Maebongsan. If you look for it on a map, there are multiple Maebongsan's in Seoul. I think there's 3 in Seoul, and there's also a Maebongsan somewhere outside of Seoul, a bigger mountain. This one straddles 3 of Seoul's districts, Yongsan-gu, Jung-gu, and Songdong-gu. Right now we're in the Yongsan-gu portion of it in Hanam-dong. And here, this is the Hanam-dong tennis courts. On a day with nice weather, there would be people on every court. This mountain has its own local network of trails, but it's also part of a larger network. There's a hill right over there that is directly connected to this via a pedestrian bridge, a nice wooded pedestrian bridge. And you've got Namsan right over there. We go on into Songdong-gu. There are more trails to more hills, and ultimately the trails lead you to Seoul Forest. I think it's great that we have places like this around the city where we can come and get away from the streets and the buildings and get into nature. I mean, look at this. But even on this rainy, hazy, cloudy day, I love this view. Yeah, hamburgers. When I first arrived here in 1991, we didn't have many good hamburger options. You might argue we didn't have any good hamburger options. We had McDonald's, Burger King, those are still here. We had Wendy's, long gone. And there was Loteria, which is operated by Lotte. Aside from that, there really wasn't anything to write home about. There were like little small tiny spaces operated by 1 or 2 people. They didn't look anything like a hamburger restaurant. They were just normal little, snack / Korean restaurant places. I tried a few of them, and they were either very bad or just downright disgusting. In the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, there was a food and beverage renaissance here. And all of the cafes that you see today, all of the restaurants serving international food, all of the fusion restaurants, all of that stuff came out of that period. Hamburgers were part of that. And I remember seeing new hamburger places open up in the early 2000s that were different from those little small places that I had seen before. They actually did up their interiors and they put facades out front, brick facades or wood facades. They were just serving burgers with lots of variety. Not just a cheeseburger with lettuce and onions or pickles, but actual variety. Johnny Rockets opened here in 2011, and that was the only place I knew of at the time selling burgers and shakes. There was no fanfare, and I just happened to stumble on it one day. Now you go to 2016, when Shake Shack opened in Gangnam, on Gangnam Boulevard, and there was a lot of fanfare for that. I kept hearing about it before it opened. It wasn't just the foreigners, you know. I mean, there were Koreans actually lining up to go to Shake Shack. And now we have Five Guys. They opened in 2023. But I wasn't able to go there for months because they had huge lines when they first opened. For months, you had to go in and get on this waiting list. The 4 places I'm going to show you in this video are the only burger places I eat at regularly anymore. A couple of them I've been going to for a few years. A couple of them I found relatively recently. But all of them scratch a different itch. They all have different kinds of burgers, different kinds of options. And the first place I'm going to show you scratches that burger and shake itch. The first time I went there was a few years ago before Five Guys came in, and some friends took me there, and I absolutely loved it. It was much better than Johnny Rockets, much better than Shake Shack, and it's a Korean burger joint. I'm downtown in central Seoul, next to Cheonggye Stream, right behind me here. The next place I'm taking you to is situated right here, next to the stream. It's one of several locations they have around the city. They have more locations than any of the other places I'm showing you in this video. And in fact, one of them is just not even 300 meters away on the other side of these buildings here, just right up that little street over there. And I've been to several of their locations since I first discovered them a few years ago. And even though we have Five Guys in Korea now, I still like to come here because it's different, right? Their burgers are different from Five Guys. It's a different taste. They have different menu options, and I just really like it. And so here it is, Brooklyn, the burger joint. Oh, that was good. I'm happy. Yeah, I couldn't talk in the restaurant because the music was too loud, and I can, get rid of the background noise in the editor, but then my voice is going to sound too roboticized, so I just gave up. But yeah, the thing I like about this place is the meat, that 7-ounce patty. You can choose the 5-ounce and the 7-ounce when you order one of their burgers. For most of them, some of them you don't have that option. For most of them you do. The patty is thick, but soft and kind of crumbly without being mushy. And a lot of burger restaurants that I've tried over the years that have that kind of soft patty, they end up being mushy, and just the texture is something I just absolutely do not like. But here they pull it off very well, and it's nicely seasoned. They really season their patties very well here. I love the flavor, and they're juicy. They're not dry, they are juicy. They are just dripping with juice. And the one I ordered, the cream, I just can't remember what it stands for. It falls out of my head every time I come here. But yeah, that cream burger is the one I really, really love. And the thing that does it for me is that jalapeno mayo. Now, that's not going to be for everybody. Mayonnaise, especially in that quantity, isn't for everybody. But I love it. You can add like French fries and a soda for $7,800 to the price of the burger. But I don't get the soda, so they just add $4,500 for the fries, right? So the burger plus the fries alone comes out to $19,500, so just under 20,000 won, which isn't bad at all. But the shake, there's no set discount for that. You got to pay the full 7,800 won for that. So my total price was, 27,300 won, I think it was. I like the milkshake. I get the milkshake every time I come here. I don't always get the fries, and the fries are good. The fries are, golden on the outside, crispy and soft on the inside. But when I come here with my wife, we usually get an order of the chili cheese fries to share, and that's 15,000 won now just for the chili cheese fries. So, and fair warning, you definitely don't want to be ordering that by yourself. I mean, that is a significant portion of fries with the chili and the cheese. I tried to eat that by myself one time and I did not succeed. Yeah, so Brooklyn, the burger joint, I can recommend it to anybody who's looking for a burger and their shake while they're here in Korea and you want to try something other than Five Guys. Yeah, this place, they just do it differently. And I'm not going to say it's better, but it's good. It's really, really good. So definitely worth a visit while you're visiting Korea. That cream burger is great, but it is rather messy because of how much mayo they put on there, and also because the patties are so juicy. Pretty much any burger you get at Brooklyn is going to be messy from all the dripping that the patties do. They have multiple milkshake flavors. I just always get vanilla because I love vanilla. If you're wondering, this place here, you can find places like this all over Korea's parks, large and small. This one they've done up pretty well with the ceiling and the little platform, the wooden platform that we're on. And then they've got equipment over here and over there and down there. It's all over the place here. Yeah, Brooklyn is good, but it's pricey. And sometimes you want a good burger without paying so much for it. And that is what the next place is for. I'm on Gangnam-dae-ro, Gangnam Boulevard, toward the southern end of it. Just behind me here in this direction is Yangjae Station. Gangnam District is over there on the other side of the street, the southern bit of Gangnam District. And here on this side of the street, we are in Seoul District currently. The burger place I'm taking you to now, they have, at this moment, as far as I know, 5 locations in Seoul. I first found this place back about 6 or 7 years ago, and I visited their location over by Samsung Station. I believe that was their first location in Seoul. It may have been the first restaurant, I don't know. At the time, they had another location in Bucheon, but I had never heard of it. I had never heard of it. I just happened to have a client in the building next door, and that's how I found out about it. And that's the thing about all of their locations today. They are kind of off the beaten path, on side streets even. The one by Samsung Station, it's on a main street, but it's in a corner of an intersection where people don't generally go. You've got the Coex Mall on the other side of the intersection, you know, the diagonally from it. So many people go through there. How many tourists go through Coex Mall to see the Starfield Library? And none of them know about this great little burger place just across the intersection because none of them have any reason to go over there. And I used to eat at this place pretty regularly. I love it. It's cheap compared to other places, but the quality is really good. These days, I don't go there so often because I don't walk through Gangnam so often anymore. They only have one location on the north side of the river, and it's off in Western Seoul, out in Digital Media City. So a little off my track, and I am out of delivery range. So I can't have them delivered to my house. It's still one of my favorites. The story behind it, as I understand it, the owner spent some time in the US and fell in love with In-N-Out Burger. And he tried to bring them to Korea when he came back, but was unsuccessful. So since he couldn't bring In-N-Out to Korea, he decided to make his own version of In-N-Out. So it is absolutely, from what I understand, a pretty blatant clone of In-N-Out Burger. Now, I've never had In-N-Out. In-N-Out was exclusively in California for decades. They didn't open their first restaurant outside of California until the 1990s, and I still have yet to try it. But I have tried this place, and if In-N-Out is as good as this place is, then I'm sure I'll love In-N-Out. But here it is, Cry Cheeseburger. And I wanted to come to this location because I haven't been here yet. The double cheeseburger set. We want the cheese fries. This is like the animal fries from In-N-Out, I've heard. Milkshake. I've never had one of their milkshakes, so I might as well go for that. The basic double cheeseburger set, just the burger, the fries, and a drink, is 10,900 won, so 11,000 won. That's not bad at all. But I upgraded to the cheese fries, which I always do, so that's 2,500 won. And I also got a milkshake, so that's another 2,500 won. So 16,000 won for the shake, fries, cheese fries, and a double cheeseburger. That's really good in today's economy. I would have thought this expensive some time ago, but no, it's really good. And I remember just, 6-7 years ago, the basic set was about 8,000 won, 7,900, I believe. So that's the cost of the double cheeseburger now. So it hasn't gone up all that much in the last few years. It has arrived, and look at this. You see, you got the cheese sauce, but they've got the grilled onions and I guess Thousand Island or whatever on top. And yeah, I got two things to ketchup. I love my ketchup. And the shake is smaller than I expected, but looks good. And what I like about this, aside from the price, is it's not too much for one person. So many burger places you go to these days, they have these huge burgers. They give you this huge pile of fries. And when you're eating by yourself, it's a bit much, right? I always feel, for example, when I go to Five Guys, as much as I love Five Guys, I always feel incredibly full after I leave there. But yeah, this is just right. So. I forgot how good that is. I mean, it's not on the same level as the other places in this video. It is a very different level, but in terms of fast food, this is so much better than McDonald's or Burger King. So much better. Oh yeah. And that milkshake is really good. It has a very strong vanilla taste to it. Oh, that's good. It's very thick. And I've missed these fries. Yeah, so if you are out and about in Seoul and you're looking for a quick, affordable lunch, come here, get a cheeseburger set, a double cheeseburger set, upgrade the fries or not, get a shake or not, whatever, but you're still gonna pay less than you would at pretty much any other burger restaurant. And it's gonna be well worth the money. And I know that a lot of expats who live here who grew up on In-N-Out Burger or who just like In-N-Out Burger, they used to be jonesing for it. And since Cry Cheeseburger opened, they don't have to jones for it anymore. If you miss In-N-Out Burger while you're staying in Korea, Cry Cheeseburger is for you. Cry Burger is quick, it's inexpensive, and it's good. But again, it's not at the same tier as the other burgers in this list. And if you're looking for a higher tier burger at a low cost, possibly even cheaper than Cry, you might want to look for a slider. And I have got a really good slider restaurant to show you next. Now I am outside the Grand Hyatt Hotel, and I'm going down this street that everybody refers to as Gyeongnidan-gil, Gyeongnidan Street, which isn't actually its name. We are in the neighborhood of Itaewon, This is Itaewon Idong. Itaewon's divided into two administrative neighborhoods, Itaewon Ildong and Itaewon Idong. Il is one, I is two. So specifically, we are in Itaewon Idong. But for years, when people talked about Itaewon, they always referred to Itaewon Ildong, which is to our south, just over this way, over the big hill that the Hyatt is sitting on. And this area, they always referred to it as Gyeongnidan. The name Gyeongnidan comes from a Korean military compound down at the bottom of the hill here. The name of it is Gyeongnidan. And so that's what people have always referred to this area as. Now, the Gyeongnidan Street moniker is relatively recent. That's something that's happened in the past a little over a decade or so, because this area used to be extremely quiet. It was just a residential neighborhood. There was nothing on the back streets except the houses. You had a few little restaurants and shops up here on this street, but it wasn't a place where people would come to hang out. Now, you had a lot of foreigners living over in this area because the Yongsan Garrison, the US military base, was just, right across the street from this area, the main post of the Yongsan Garrison. And also a lot of English teachers and other foreign workers took up residence in this area. This was a place where a lot of foreigners lived. It was not a place where a lot of foreigners hung out. About a little over a decade ago, that started to change, and we had so many shops come in here, restaurants, cafes, bakeries, boutique clothing shops, just all over the place, and not just on this street, but on the back streets as well. All these back streets back here now have a number of little shops on them. It's just completely different from what it used to be. And so this caused the area to become popular with young Koreans, especially couples. It became what they call a date course, a popular date course. As other similar areas started developing around Seoul, not so much developing as evolving, some of them were given names that were derived from Gyeongnidan, a kind of portmanteau. So for example, in Mangwon-dong, there's a street there now that everybody calls Mangnidang-gil. Over by Yongsan Station, there's Yeongnidang-gil. And by the way, I did a video last year about Yeongnidang-gil you might want to check out. Gyeongnidan is kind of not as big as it was a few years ago. I think the craze is kind of over now. What I'm here for is our next burger shop. And this place, they have two locations in Seoul, from what I know, one here in Gyeongnidan and one over in southeastern Seoul in the Gangdong district, Gangdong-gu. They also have one in Gwacheon, which is just outside of Seoul to the south. It's actually in Gyeonggi-do. That's where the government has a lot of offices. And this one is the closest to my house. And actually, I've never been to this location, to any of their locations. I've never physically been to this burger place. I found them through Coupang Eats, a delivery app that's popular here in Korea. So this is now one of my go-to burgers, one of two go-to burger places that I order from on Coupang Eats. I kind of alternate between them. Here it is, Billion Box. Little small, tiny place. We're not gonna be eating in, we're gonna be taking it out. Look at this, we believe that other burgers are All right, I have got my stuff here and we are going up the hill to Maebongsan Park to sit down and eat. Now, they don't have a whole lot of options at Billion Box. They've got some fried chicken. I've never had that before. They have a kind of a shrimp burger thing, and they have 3 or 4 other options, but I always get the same thing every time I go. I just get 2 sliders, a single and a double. I get the fries. They've got the ridge fries. These actually are pretty good. They're not bad. And then for dessert, they have this thing called a lotus bun. These are just the buns they use for the sliders with a spread inside them called lotus. The spread is, I had never heard of it before I ordered it from here. It looks kind of disgusting, but it tastes very much like the brown sugar cinnamon filling for Pop-Tarts, if you've ever had those before. What I love about these burgers is when they put the meat on the bun gets just a little bit soggy. Not so soggy that it's falling apart. It's just really soft. And the way they grill these buns, right? So the buns are nice and grilled, and all they put on the burger, you get the meat, a kind of, I guess that's a cheese sauce, and then another kind of special sauce. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of onions there. Oh man, that is so tasty. And one of these sauces is a little bit spicy. Not too bad. Not too much. Just a hint of spice. And the meat is not dry, not juicy. So altogether, this was 14,300 won. The 2 burgers, the lotus bun, and the fries. I didn't get a drink. Yeah, absolutely one of my favorite burger places in Seoul, and I can easily recommend this to anybody who likes hamburgers. And like I mentioned earlier, I alternate between this and another burger restaurant when I order through Coupang Eats. And I order burgers, 3, 4, or 5 times a month. Not too frequently, just when the mood strikes me. And this and the other place are pretty much the only 2 I ever order through Coupang Eats. So I eat these semi-regularly and I'm not tired of them at all. I don't think I could get enough of them. The thing I love about Billion Box is they pack so much flavor into those little sliders, and they're filling. Just a couple of sliders and some fries, that's a good meal. And the price is comparable to Cry cheeseburger. Now remember, a basic double cheeseburger set at Cry is 11,000 won, 10,900. Mine was more expensive because I upgraded the fries and got a shake. If you're just getting a couple of sliders and some fries and a Coke, you're not going to be paying too much more than you'd pay for that basic double cheeseburger at Cry. And you're getting more flavor out of it. Now, I don't want to knock Cry. It is really good for what you're getting. But the flavor at Billion Box is just something else entirely. And that brings us to the last burger place I want to show you. And there's a reason I saved this one for last. Now I'm in the Apgujeong Rodeo area, and this is the Apgujeong Rodeo Street behind me. This whole block back here is a popular hot spot. It actually was really popular 30 years ago. This was one of the places to hang out in Seoul back then, and then it kind of died out a little bit. Back in the 90s, I heard there were waiting lists for even the smallest spaces here for rental, right? As soon as the shop closed down, somebody was there to take over the space almost immediately. But in the 2000s and into the 2010s, things started dying down quite a bit, and eventually there were several empty spaces around when I came through here. But these days, there's been a revival that's happened over the last few years. And I think most of the action is happening off on the southern end of the block. Back in the 90s, there wasn't a lot going on over that end. Everything was up here on the north end. But yeah, that's how things go, I guess. And interestingly, there's a Five Guys opening here soon. If you're looking for a job, their recruitment day is April 10th. This next place we're going to, the final place, is one of the places that I frequently order on Coupang Eats. I alternate this place with Billion Box. Never been to the physical location. I've been past one of the physical locations on Ujiro. That's actually the one I order from. It's the only one within delivery distance of my house. When I saw they had a location in Apgujeong Rodeo, I decided to come here. This is actually where I shot a lot of the Christmas decorations, if you saw my Christmas 2024 video. So yeah, this place, I absolutely love them. And you know, where Billion Box is a simplified burger at small scale, you know, it's just got the meat, a couple of sauces, and some bits of onions. This is a simplified burger at a large scale. And though they do have some options, they have a pepperoni burger and a barbecue burger, their main focus is just the meat. And you can get a burger with up to 7 patties on it. 7. It's not what I'm doing, but that signature burger, I guess, is where they get their name from. It's called 7 Patty Burger. First time at the restaurant on location, and yeah, you can see the series of burgers here, from the single all the way up. I guess that's the 7 patty right there. That's just insane. I would never eat that. Yeah, this is me today. Oh, that was good. That was really, really, really good. That is a very messy burger, though. When I order it and have it delivered, it's never that messy. But wow, that was messy. So they do give you options to add on to the burger. You have choices of egg, bacon, and grilled onions. I should probably try it with the grilled onions one of these days. But for me, it's the meat. It's all about the meat. That is such good meat. And you see the patties are huge, right? They're just smashed flat and spread out beyond the bun that way. Oh, wow. Not dry, not as juicy as Brooklyn, but not dry. And I would say the seasoning isn't as strong as Brooklyn, but oh, very, very, very good. And their sauce, their special sauce, tastes similar to the sauce at Billion Box. I guess it's Chipotle mayonnaise or something, but it's they put it on both sides of the bun there, so you get the cheddar, the meat, and the sauce, and that's it. Unless you order the extra toppings. As I was eating it, the sauce was just dripping all over my fingers, my hands, and my beard too. It was all over my beard. I hope I got it all out. But I loved every minute of it. It was good. And their fries are good too. They've got the Cajun fries, very crispy, very crispy. If I were tied to a lie detector and you asked me to choose one of the 4 restaurants that I've shown you today as my absolute best, I want to say that I'd be able to pass by saying I don't have one. I like them all the same, but I'm not sure I could. I think if I were pressed, it would be 7 patty. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Brooklyn. I love Billion Box, and I love Cry, but 7 patty, something about it just feels like it's just a slight step above, a half step above. I really, really love it, and I can recommend it to anybody who loves hamburgers. And you know it's spring when you see this. When I'm in the mood for a burger and a shake and I want something different from Five Guys, Brooklyn, the burger joint. When I'm looking for something quick and inexpensive and I'm in the vicinity of one, Cry Cheeseburger. I will take that over McDonald's and Burger King any day of the week. When I'm in the mood for a burger, but I'm not overly hungry and I don't want to feel stuffed, Billion Box. But when I do want a good old-fashioned hamburger and I'm really hungry or I just really crave it, 7 Patty. When you're visiting Korea, I encourage you not to disregard Korean burger restaurants. The 4 that I've shown you in this video are great places to start. They're all 5 stars on my list. And I realize your taste may be different from mine. I have tried some highly rated burger places in Coupang Eats that I would give rather low ratings to. But yeah, don't be afraid to try. Some of the restaurants get very creative with their burgers. You'll find some interesting combinations. The kinds of toppings they put on in them or how they're presented, and that in and of itself can be an interesting experience. That's all I've got for you in this episode of My Favorite Places. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, thanks for liking, and thank you for subscribing. Bye-bye. Yeah, there's another presidential security guy up the trail there.